I'm Vanessa Ho and I'm 24 years old.
So my name is Shazlan, I'm 24.
My occupation is a lawyer and I'm in the legal industry.
I am an associate and I'm currently in the financial sector.
I've been in the legal industry for over a year now.
Exactly a year ago, I started in October last year, so I'm still relatively fresh.
Yes, so in the legal industry, experience is probably the most important because people do tend to look at us as, okay, you're just someone fresh and you don't have much experience. So for us, it's quite difficult due to our lack of experience.
Biggest obstacle, I think the biggest obstacle for me would be communication. And as you go up the ladder, being able to bridge that gap between people who are much older than you, I always find that a bit of a challenge. So that's something I have to work on, and that will probably be my biggest obstacle.
So I also personally feel that lawyers, they are typically very busy, and sometimes associates and partners are often very swamped. You know, when they are rushing deadlines to meet clients' expectations or even court deadlines, they tend to not have time to properly teach us along the way or guide us on how things should be done. So in essence, most of us, we are usually just left like a fish in the sea, trying to figure out what exactly needs to be done.
So I was put into rotations that I went into a few departments. I think the only difference that if I could change was that as a supervisor, I feel like I would be more open to helping them out instead of just letting them figure it out on their own. I'm not saying to spoon feed them, but in a way showing them steps by steps on what to do, and I feel like in the long run that would be much better off than just leaving them hanging.
In my organization, I feel that one thing it's too obvious is they are looking at experience more than talent. While I think right now there is no such, you have more experience and then you have more capabilities. And like young people can have a lot of capability than those people that have been working in the past 10 years, 20 years. So I hope that my company can value the knowledge and talents more than the experience.
Yes, so an ideal leader to me is someone who's willing and able to give their free time in giving whatever advice they have to the younger ones. They have the experience of 10, 20 years, and now they know that there's a fresh graduate or a young lawyer like myself, that they're willing to impart all those knowledge, and also understand that sometimes we make mistakes because we don't know it, we have not been able to follow through with.
So I think that my ideal leader would be someone who's very nurturing, who kind of helps me grow. Because I think leadership is not really just a position per se, but it's also a decision that you make. And ultimately, great leaders are someone who can help or someone who kind of motivates people around them to kind of follow in their beliefs or in their steps in helping them grow.
So my ideal leader are those people that not just can lead the organization to a better performance, but also the middle ground and then feel what the employees feel, and then not just strive for the profit, but also strive for quality and culture in the organization to make sure that people in the organization feel great and feel happy to work with the organizations.
My advice to fresh graduates would be to not be afraid to make mistakes. I think sometimes I myself can be too hard on myself when I make mistakes, but it's essentially it's also a journey. It's a 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years worth of journey, and as long as we try to improve and learn from our mistakes, I think that is the most important. And as long as we try to be better than who we were or what we were yesterday, I think that's an improvement in itself.
Advice, right? My advice, I think, would be to ask a lot of questions, especially early on. Don't feel like, even though you might not know something, I would say go ahead and just ask people, especially if you think you might sound stupid, because it's better that you kind of find out the answer early on and not knowing how to do the job later on.
My advice to the fresh graduate is to learn beyond the classroom. There's a lot of people get the first class in academics, but how the industry differentiate you is based on the soft skill that you develop outside of the classroom.
Definitely to know that someday, 5 years or 10 years from now, we definitely want to be better than we were before, as mentioned earlier. From my own point of view, the goal would definitely be to make a partner at a certain law firm in the future. That is probably my motivation.
I think something that motivates me would probably be something that scares me. I think whether it be a new position, talking to new people, or going to a new job, I think something that scares you, you should kind of go for it. And basically taking a risk or stepping outside your comfort zone, because ultimately that's the way for you to grow.
So things that motivate me to be a leader right now is industry having the industrial revolution, and also at the same time my company having the transformations. So I feel that this is the right time for me to go to industry and then prepare myself to be the future leader.